And we are live, finally.
Hi.
Thanks everyone for joining us. This is our first live Digitized Wonder Woman of the month of November. We have our wonderful Mette Hardis right here to join us. I am particularly excited about this. Mette was a coach for our cohort, our innovation cohort, the 317, that where Sandy, where Isabel and I met. So it's quite an honor for us to have her here, so she can share her expertise, her experience, and provide actually like get some inspiration just the way she did it for us, right? You might notice that we are lacking digitized Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, she's stuck at an airport. But I am joined by Sandy. Sandy, you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. Yes, like Sabrina said, we welcome you to on our first live event with Mette. Welcome, Mette.
Thank you.
All right. So we really appreciate that you take a little bit of your time to share your story and some of the projects you're working on. We have chosen you to become our first Digitized Wonder Woman because you have really inspired us. Sometimes, we don't know the effect we can have on other people, but we really wanted to shed some light on the work you're doing and the kind of personality you have, because it was most definitely something very inspiring for us. I am particularly excited about the whole thing because you are my coach in my team Playground Duty. Weirdest name in the history of teams in the academy. I don't even remember how that started, but well. Yeah, and I went through the design thinking process with Les, which basically killed my project altogether. And at one point in the academy, I don't know if you remember Sandy, she said something along the lines of, who is feeling like a 3, which was near, terrifying moment. What am I doing in this academy? I want to go back home. Or who is feeling a 1, which is like an okay. And I was feeling like a 5.7. And Mette was there to give us a hand, which is the role of the coaches in the academy. So thank you so much for that. But we know a lot about you. We would like our audience to get to know a little bit more about you. So why don't you tell us about yourself? What you do, where you live.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be the first digitized Wonder Woman in your interview here. And I'm also a bit scared because I don't feel particularly Wonder Woman-like. But I'll try to share a little bit about myself. And I just, a few weeks ago, I went to another academy in the Google Innovator Program. And the co-coach of mine, Katia, she made us tell our story, and she said that we should tell our story, not our status. So every one of us got this little card with a kind of drawing of from ourselves here. A friend of her made it, and then we had to write something about ourselves, our story. And I wrote on this card, I love to be a part of a community. I get a lot of energy from being around other people and building relations. I'm curious and I want to see what's around the next corner. So that was the story of from my card from the Danish cohort in the Innovator Academy. And I think that describes me somehow, that I really like to work together with people and to see where it takes me, because it's with other people that I actually learn the most, I think. But I live in Denmark. If to talk a little bit about my status also, then then I can say that I work as a program manager in the municipality of Aarhus in Denmark, and it's the second largest city in Denmark. And there's about 50 schools in our municipality, and I'm the program manager for professional development for creative ICT in the municipality. So I run this program, which is called the 32s, which is as weird as a playground duty name. Yes, but it has this name because there are 32 teachers, and these teachers are board free 1 day a week. So there will be a team one Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday, and so on. So there will be a group of teachers each day, but the other 4 days they will actually work at a school. So they will be part of a school and also a part of this program. So the professional development is very closely related to praxis, to teaching in the classroom. So it's not something that you practice away from your school or your teaching. You're actually connecting it very closely. And to refer to another co-coach of mine from the Danish cohort, Ingvi, he said that a desk is a very dangerous place to be. So you have to go out in the classroom to actually change something, and not sit behind the desk. And we're really trying to preach that in this program, where we go to the classrooms and learn together with the teacher and the students. So we actually scaffolding it so the teacher, when we leave, they can do it themselves afterwards.
That's amazing. And the fact that you're, creating a sort of mini community that can feed on each other and then have a sort of domino effect, because when they go back into the classroom, and you work with quite a huge number of people.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive. Impressive. How do you keep that motivation and that inspiration? Because it must be kind of hard to work with so many people, trying to give them ideas to go work in the classroom, etc. So how do you keep it up? Where do you find your own inspiration? Motivation and that inspiration, because it must be kind of hard to work.
I find the motivation
working in the classroom. So how do you keep it? Where do you find your own inspiration?
Is your sound also a bit?
It must be kind of hard to work.
I find the motivation working in the classroom. So how do you keep it? Where do you find your own inspiration? Is your sound also a bit? It must be kind of hard to work.
Oh no!
Can you stop the sound?
Where do you find your own inspiration?
Is your sound also a bit?
It must be kind of hard to work. Oh no!
I don't know. Sandy, maybe you can mute. Or... Okay, now it went away. Okay, thank you. But my motivation is coming from when I work with these people, I always try to strive for the best, and when we've done something, we're always giving each other feedback and trying to actually do it better next time. So the feedback and the dialogue with the team is very important to me to stay motivated and to work with other people, actually do that. And we have a very good setup with a lot of technical solutions so that it will work very smoothly with when schools have to say, we need some of your teachers from the 32s. It actually works very well. So we have a very good back end of the whole system. So that's really nice, so that we can focus on the learning processes and the teaching, and that's what motivates me. Not as much as the technical solutions. Yeah.
All right, I'm muting myself. Hopefully, we'll not get an echo again.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was super interesting. What suggestions would you give someone if they wanted to have something like this? They wanted to go and inspire other people. Because we tend to see, the reason why we started this is sort of, it actually started as a support group, the three of us, because we failed in our personal projects. But at the same time, we realized that whenever we have events, or when we have academies, there's very little female representation. Which is incredibly weird, because education is pretty much filled with women. yet we don't get to see them. We don't get to hear their voices. This is one of the reasons why we started these things, is live events where we can share our stories. I love, by the way, what you said at the beginning. Don't share your status, share your story, because we do tend to do that. We give a list. I'm an EFL teacher. I'm an instructional designer. I live here. I work there. Blah blah blah. But it doesn't really tell a lot about what we are as people. But I'm digressing as usual. The what is it that you think some women feel a bit discouraged when it means joining these kinds of events or sharing their knowledge or what inspires them?
I think it's very important that you have a community or a kind of team that you work with, because then you don't feel alone or standing out or feeling this imposter syndrome that you are fraud and you will be found out. So actually, if you have a team and you have gotten feedback from your thoughts or ideas, then you can be more secure in what you're doing, and you can motivate each other. When one go down, the other one will push you up and stuff like that. So I think it's very important to have a community or a group when you're doing something. If it's building a program for professional development, or if it's trying to build this community as you do, then it's important that you have each other, right? So for me, it's all about reaching out, and I also think that sometimes we're very afraid of reaching out. So you actually don't do it because you in advance you already told yourself that no this will no one wants to join me or something like that. So if you haven't tried it or said it, actually when I think it's about 5 years ago, I didn't work that much with tech solutions or teaching in that way. I was a traditional Danish teacher, and one of my colleagues said, "Oh, I'm trying to get some more devices into my classroom, but how can we afford it, and how can we do?" And I said, "I would like to join you. Should we try to contact Google, for instance, because we just read about something called Chromebooks, and we had never seen one. We just read about it, and then we tried to write an email to Google in Denmark saying, hey, we're teachers. We want can you please help us?" And we were like, okay, we'll never hear anything from them. And then in an hour they were like, hello, very amazing teachers, and we were like, oh, what? And so we actually got this feeling that, okay, if we reach out, then it'll actually work. And we were the first ones in Denmark to have Chromebooks in our classes 1-to-1. So we had this very good experience, and I think I carried that with me, that if you actually try and reach out for the experts or for the best, then sometimes they're not used to people reaching out for them, so they will actually take time to talk to you and to go along with you.
Definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head with the whole community thing. The fact that, when you feel part of something, you get more motivation, and you feel a bit stronger and bolder in your decisions. And like the saying goes, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with someone. And you also mentioned the fact that sometimes we feel too tiny to reach out to other people, or a bit shy, and sometimes it's just a question of knocking on someone's door or sending a cheeky email, and sometimes the answer will just be a yes.
Yes.
And it will surprise you completely. So I think that's a great piece of advice for everyone out there that has ideas or wants to change something in their school and they're feeling kind of lonely. So it is really hard to fight against the traditional Danish teacher you were, but if you feel like there's someone next to you giving you a hand, cheering you on, if you have a mentor, if you have someone that you can reach out to whenever you have questions or doubts, that's most definitely something to bear in mind. Now, you did mention the fact that, you just sent that email and you didn't know how that was going to go. And then an hour later, you got a reply, which was amazing. But how do you deal personally with failure? Because that's something that sometimes stops us from doing things and trying new things because we are afraid of failing. So we don't even get started, right? You apparently were not very afraid of that. You just went for it. So how do you deal personally with failure?
Yeah, at that point, I didn't have anything to lose. I think when I wrote the email, because I didn't have any devices, then they were just like, "Would you like to help me?" But I think that that it will be. Now I just dropped it. I just please help me back.
How do you deal with failure?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I think when I have tried too much to convince someone, when I find that I have this very good solution, right? Then sometimes when I was a teacher, I tried to convince my colleagues that this would be a good way to integrate taking the teaching. Then they wouldn't listen. And I think that actually Liz told me a lot about this falling in love with my problem and not the solution, right? Getting to know your user. Why don't they want to listen to me? Because it was a very good thing that I wanted to bring on to my colleagues. Why didn't they want to listen? To go back and actually understand why and dig deeper into that, and then try to really understand the ones I was trying to help. That I think many of my fails have been wanted to push something very strongly because I knew that I was right. So that has caused me many frustrations, but I think I'm working on on falling in love with my problems now.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it's a really hard one, but it's a shift of mindset that it's really necessary if you want change.
Yes. And also right now I'm not a teacher anymore, and I work in the municipality. Then I think I struggle a lot with the gap between the leaders and the administration and the teachers, right? The understanding between each other, because it's always us and them. They don't understand us, we don't understand them, and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to communicate that we have the same goal. I'm also working for the learning for the students and stuff like that, even though I'm not in the classroom all the time. And so the storytelling and the narrative about this gap is very difficult. So it's a constant hard work task you have to do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So following from what you were saying, is there any project, because it sounds like you've got lots of projects you're proud of, but is there any one particular project that you are proud of and inspire other women out there listening to us? Or
Yes, I'm very proud actually that I was asked to be a coach both in Sweden and in Denmark in the Google Innovate Academy, because I was in the Google Teacher Academy. It was called back then in 2013, and it was a whole other kind of program back then. So when I went to the Google Teacher Academy, then it was just more like sitting there hearing about then there's this product and this product, and it was not this design thinking process and the community building. You were lucky if you had good conversation with someone, you could reach out, but it was your own initiative. It was not facilitated by the GTA. So now they actually really made the program a lot better and try to focus on these things. So coming back to this, trying getting all this new, like you too, and Isabel also, like getting to know you and being inspired once again. So I think I'm very proud of that. I got this chance to learn once more and to let be that you all let me into your projects, and actually it broadens the world, right? So now I think, oh, lots of things will be possible, and this energy that I'm really proud of participating in this community.
You know, I'm really glad that Sandy asked that question, because the three of us are also doing something on the side, which is this training that's called I Am Remarkable. And just like Les with her design thinking, and she tells you this, fall in love with the problem, not the solution. You start to, you know, accumulate all these mantras that kind of guide you towards your teaching practice and life in general. One that we learned in the training that we got from the I Am Remarkable people is that it's not bragging if it's based on facts, right?
Yeah.
And I like that, because, you know, in general, we don't get to talk a lot about our accomplishments a lot. You know, we tend to either minimize them or downplay them. And the fact that we can, you know, stand out and say, you know, I'm really proud that I helped 36 innovators in this academy in Sweden and 36 other innovators in Denmark work through their projects. And because, you know, what some people might not know is that it doesn't stop at the academy, right? The academy is a super intense process. It's 3 days long, but it's a 12-month program, right? So you keep in touch with your coaches, and, you know, this community is built, and it lasts for quite a long time. We've passed those 12 months already, but we're still in touch. In fact, we're talking to you right now, right? And so I like the fact that we are able to, you know, start this conversation on our accomplishments, and we can, you know, say them out loud without feeling shy about which they are.
Yes, and it's a very cultural thing, because in Denmark we actually have a kind of informal law called janteloven, which means that you're not allowed to be outstanding, right? You have to minimize yourself. You have to be equal. All have to be equal. So you can. It's actually very untraditional Danish to actually say, I achieved this. I did it. It's when Americans do that, we're like, oh my God, they're American, I'm Danish, or, you know. So it's a kind of, you have to really practice saying that you are proud of something.
Well, most definitely, culturally speaking, I feel I really completely identify with you. You know, nobody wants to stand out. But it is true that we need to start saying it, you know, because the more we say it, the more it becomes real for us as well. And I think, you know, tying back to the way we started, you mentioned, you know, when you were introducing yourself and your story, you said, I don't know if I'm a Wonder Woman or something like that, right? But honestly, you really are, because there's 3 people right here who chose you to be our first digitized Wonder Woman. And sometimes we don't know the impact we have on other people, right? Sometimes it's just a phrase. Sometimes it's the right word at the right time. And it has to do with that. It has to do with, you know, but for that to work, you need to, you know, get in a community and share what you do, and, you know, reach out, like you said. So we believe that by creating this community, an online community at that, but well, quite global, because, you know, we are covering every single continent out there. We're really proud of that. Being what, a month old or something, Sandy? Yes, month old. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah. So the idea is that, you know, we want to get this conversation started. You know, let's talk about our accomplishments. Would you like to create a project? Share it with someone. Reach out to maybe Mette. You know, if you're in Denmark and you would like to have some inspiration, or you want to be one of those 32. I don't know. I'm just. I'm throwing this out there. Maybe you're gonna be part of the 32 that easily, but, you know, there's a feeling of having maybe someone close by that you can reach out, or, you know, if someone who would like to do a similar program in their own city, they can be inspired by you. So I really, really thank you for all the work you're doing and for the inspiration you are, because you truly, it doesn't have to do so also not only with, you know, the technical or the pedagogical wisdom that you share with other people. It also has to do with your personality. You know, you are very open, you're very sweet, and that is definitely transmitted every time one has an interaction with you.
Thank you so much. Oh, please. I'm very glad to hear that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Mette.
Yeah.
From all of this, also, where do you find your inspiration from?
I found it actually very much from my colleagues. I have very inspirational colleagues, and I also find it in these communities, the online communities. You know, the chats in the innovator chats, they just go on and on. and now when the Danish innovator chat, they just left the academy, they're exploding with the with the high fives and inspirational stuff. So and I actually just recently started to listen to podcasts, and I really like that. I haven't done it before, but I like that also. There's a huge amount of very interesting podcasts around education. So I'm trying to find my way in that jungle also.
All right, thanks so much. So we are going to wrap up. We're getting close to the half hour that we usually cover with. We usually, the first time, so second time actually, that we want to cover. So tying back to what we said before, you know, if you want to be part of this community, there's a link in the description of this video where you can join the Digitized Wonder Woman community. If you want to nominate someone like Mette or like someone, we already have a lot of nominations from people who have signed up. So that's great to hear that there's other people doing great things out there. So if you want to nominate someone so we can have a conversation with them and they can share a project that they're doing, please do so. It's just a Google form. You can simply fill it out and give us the details of that person. We get into contact with them and organize a chat like this one. So Sandy, any last words to finish off?
No, thank you very much, Mette. I remember those high fives.
Yes, I hope to see you at the BED conference again. That was so fun last year.
Yes.
Oh wow, will you be there?
Yeah, yes, I'll be there. Will you too?
Awesome, we will have a reunion. Yes, the three of us are going. So
yeah. Okay, see you then.
Also, hopefully, many other Digitized Wonder Women will join us.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be great. So Mette, any last words for our conversation?
No, thank you so much, and I really recognize you as Wonder Woman as well. So you go, girls.
All right. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone for watching. And we'll see each other, I think, in a month, right?
Yes.
Yes.
With another Digitized Wonder Woman. So that's it for today. Bye, everyone.